we're live.
Man, 30 seconds is a long time. You just got to sit there and be quiet.
You can make noise, but that would defeat the purpose.
Yeah, like, okay.
Yes. Yeah, maybe I can cut it down to 15. That might be it's but 30 gives you everything comes out, including like traffic rumble and stuff.
My kid, you don't have to be quiet. Okay, but you should, right?
Yes. Well, hello in the chat. Clarion and Matt and Abyss are right in there. Good to see you guys. Yeah, so I got the I don't know if you can see the shirt, but this is a hint. We're going to be doing the Chariot of the Gods.
Nice.
Yeah. So
nice.
it's pretty nice. The module for Foundry is pretty cool.
Okay.
The character sheets and everything are all very thematic, and you can even change the style, like the color. It's black on. It's green lettering and everything on black, but you can
change it to those custom Siegs and some sheets that I do, right?
Yeah.
Which are on my hard drive somewhere.
Yeah, you can. So you can play with it quite a bit. There's a lot of customization, and it's nice because it's everything. Plus, they give you mother aids. They give you this whole folder of art. Like it has the scenes that you would need for the crawling the ship and everything. Yeah, but then it has like the meeting room and the exterior of just a space scene of the derelict floating, and so there's really nice thematic stuff where you're not going to be moving any tokens, so you can just put that up. This is what you're looking at.
Cool.
So I'm surprised. So the only problem is with our distance, sometimes connectivity with Foundry is a little spotty. So hopefully we don't run into that. It hasn't been like that recently, but for some reason, I don't know, internet here on Saturday is the maintenance time or something, or the time where they decide to reset, reset routers and stuff.
Nobody's working, right? The offices are closed. So yeah, perfect time to do it, right? Not when people are home actually using it, right?
Mm. So yeah, that'll be fun, and it's fun to go back. So this is the print version, and the first time I ran this, it was the digital version that was the quick, the early access kind of, beta rules almost, abbreviated rules. So I'm curious to compare once I get all the way through this if they've smoothed anything out or kind of like reframed anything, especially with the agendas and stuff, or if that is all was that good to go from the Kickstarter, the point of the Kickstarter.
It'll be interesting to know because I think, I was a player in that first one you ran.
Mm-hmm.
And that was, like you said, before the game had actually kind of...
Right. So we didn't even have full rules. Yeah, we just had the abbreviated rules.
And then I've run it like twice since, I think, using that. But it was a while ago, and I do remember there being some layout differences. What they were, I can't tell you anymore. But I think there is differences.
Yeah, and we got the updated version coming, the revised. I don't know if they're going to call it a second edition, but
I don't think they are, right?
Yeah, they're going to smooth it out. But yeah, and that's strange that they're already revising the rules because we haven't even gotten like a corp book, or we've only gotten Marines and colonists, unless corporation is in colonists.
I think we got. I'll have to go and look. I don't have all of them. We got the core set. We got the Colonial Marine one with the Destroyer of World campaign. Did we get a book? Then we got Heart of Darkness, which I think is science.
Yeah, so the Draconis, the three Draconis kind of trilogy thing.
And but then there's the Building Better Worlds,
which I think is a kind of colonist supplement. Yeah, so Colonial Marines and colonists. And is that enough to? I guess that fleshes out most of the world. But Corp is such a big thing. Like Marines, you can understand. That's going to be an aspect you can throw Marines if you're just running in your own original campaign in that setting. I think you need a little bit of how corporate agents work and how their influence works and who they can reach and stuff, and how much control they have over synthetic life and the androids.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and look. I haven't even taken the shrink wrap off my Colonial Marines. Right. It's just sitting on my shelf. Right? But yeah.
Yeah, but and Colonial Marines were in Destroyer of Worlds, right? You're all Marines, okay?
Yeah, and I wish I had more people, but we started that kind of like as a one shot and got it through about Act 1.
Yeah, I'm really curious because this is a really nice, you can crawl this. It's zones. You're not crawling squares, but you can crawl the whole ship, and the Kronos has 4 levels.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
I'm so spoiling anything, but so there's a lot to crawl, and I'm curious if that's going to make things take longer, because they say you could probably do this in 4 to 5 hours. and that's usually how long our sessions are, the online sessions. So either gonna have to force a stopping point, like between acts or something. So we'll see. I'm really curious how things slow down, or because it all depends on the party, like what they stumble upon first and how they react to it.
Okay, well, I think it does depend on the party, and I think it also does depend on how the GM runs it. Because like I said, okay, I've run it twice, and I've played in it once. And the first time we played it, it went 4 sessions.
Yes, right.
I've done it twice now as a one-shot.
Yeah.
All fitting into about 4 to 5 hours.
Yeah.
So I think it really depends on, yes, how much the players want to go explore versus kind of doing things that they need to do. And I think it also depends on how the GM presents it, right? If you got like kind of like fast travel, right? Like, okay, you want to go from whatever place to whatever place. Like, as long as nothing is happening in between, or there's nothing, you're just like, cool, and you're there. Versus, okay, let's kind of crawl it out.
Right. Because we did. It was 4 2-hour sessions. So I think it took a lot to get going again, and I think that really broke the tension. When the first time we played it, because it broke the tension between having to like start again. Remember, it's really tense and scary. Like you can't get that back once you walk away from the table. So this will be good.
No, in that case, just like start everything with like player death.
Yeah, right.
Sorry, player character death. Right. Not with that person. Like, yeah, you're dead. Make a new character.
Player death. Yeah. He won't be playing with us anymore. Remove the body. Yeah. Poison the Mountain Dew. All right.
What kind of gamers do you think we are? I have seen Mountain Dew.
I still can't believe that, Doritos and Mountain Dew were a kind of an obvious cross promotion for the 50th anniversary of D&D, and they totally missed that. We got Pop-Tarts and Converse. I don't know what's going on.
Free advice over here for Wizards.
Yes.
Not going to listen to.
Yes.
Nope, you just keep cranking out those obvious crossover with popular media secret layer drops.
Yeah, right. Oh, yeah, and plus Hasbro just, Matt sent me a link. There's a lawsuit now, an investor lawsuit against Hasbro because they lied about demand for product. So over the pandemic, over the lockdown, like basically that 1 year, they, things went crazy. So the order numbers and the supply, they overproduced. They continued to overproduce and lie to investors that this was in demand, and they're stuck. I forget the actual numbers, the actual amount, but it was a ton of this, kind of degraded inventory that they had to write off because they overproduced and overordered because, this is going to last forever. This gravy train of the pandemic will never end, which would have been possible.
I mean, it's still going. So I wonder if that has affected Wizards or Hasbro's what feels like the push to digital, like the real push to digital. Like, wow, we're going to get burned on this inventory that we can't push. So you know what? No more inventory. Let's kind of push digital only. Yeah,
and there's a story coming up. It's the bad news we're going to end with, kind of about that. That's probably going to force a lot of hands. And I think it's going to favor the larger companies, which is going to suck. Because it means, it's going to mean that smaller creators, smaller companies are going to really take a hit. So we shall see. So the golden age of crowdfunding may yet come to an end. I've been predicting it forever. I've been.
Well, if you keep saying
the end is nigh.
Becomes true.
Yes,
this will be the year. This will be the year. I told you, right? I've been saying it, right?
Right. I don't give a specific date. I'm just like, it's approaching rapidly.
Nostromo, not Nostromo. That's the ship. Nostradamus.
Yes. I am a failed, Nostradamus. The dime store tabletop Nostradamus.
Even a broken clock is right.
That's right. That's what I'm hoping for. Yeah. That's what I'm hoping for. All right. Well, let's get to this. Yeah. So look forward to some Alien tomorrow. Unless everybody, I've been having terrible allergies.
Oh no.
Terry's been having some
you sure it's
throat
allergies
stuff.
And not some kind of like black goo.
It could be that as well. So you're going to get a lot of maybe a lot of gravelly voices, which might work. It might work out. Okay. Yeah. But let's do this. Welcome to the Weekly. I'm Jeremy.
I'm Chris.
And this week on the Weekly, Household RPG Bundle, preparing for their next Kickstarter, Star Trek 2nd Edition Starter Set, Infinity N5 Rules Delayed, and higher U.S. tariffs.
I thought we weren't going to get political here.
Well, this is economic.
Okay, sure. Because that's what scared people.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, this is what we're gonna have to contend with. But yeah. So Bell of Lost Souls did a kind of a. They didn't give away. They didn't name any sources, but they said they talked to people involved in game production and stuff.
Okay.
So this is their view. So we don't really know how accurate it is, but it's spooky foretelling of the doom of the future. Yeah.
Okay.
We'll see. But let's start with something nice. Household has a bundle on Bundle of Holding. So the English language PDF of the teeny tiny tabletop role-playing game Household by Riccardo Sirignano, I always say this right, and Simone Formicola, of Two Little Mice in Rome, Italy. So this is going to be everything that was available in a digital version from their May 2022 Kickstarter campaign. So this is Household, and I hadn't heard this before. Household is what's known as the wainscot fantasy, meaning...
Well, I think you haven't heard it before because I probably just made it up for this.
Maybe. So tiny folk in an oversized world. And so adventure, intrigue, and social interactions in an abandoned Victorian house. Yeah, so early 19th century. So, and you're playing, all the players are littlings, the little folk of European folklore, and they have their little kingdoms, their little tribes and everything. And so and there's a campaign, like they're with this next release, they are actually advancing the story. And this original campaign is the 5 troubled years that started at the end of the First Household War. So it's actually like, I think they're trying to recreate like strife in Europe, but reenacted by little guys.
I hadn't really put that together.
Mm-hmm.
And I would be curious if that's what they're actually kind of doing. And this would be a way to do it,
Mm-hmm.
provided rooms don't have their own particular accent. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, I haven't looked at this. I've been thinking about it. But like someone coming from historical, kind of on the edge of historical wargaming,
Mm-hmm.
like I've said before, like one of my kind of problems is like once you get in historical wargaming, there's real baggage, right?
Yeah,
like you start getting like Napoleonic era or beyond that, and you're kind of like, yeah, okay, let's play Axis and Allies. I don't really. Someone has to be Germany, right? That kind of bugs me, and I know it doesn't bother some people because they're just kind of reenacting stuff or playing their own things. So, not completely, but abstracting or removing the setting from actual history in this way would be a way to kind of, maybe not exactly the same, but like it's a way to play out real conflicts if you wanted to without, or not without, but with less baggage than doing it with actual countries.
Right.
That came out wrong, but people know what I mean.
Yeah, no, and I think that's their motivation, kind of their point. They're taking like loose inspiration and creating these kingdoms, but they're not one-to-one analogs of anything. It's not, the Italian cockroaches in the kitchen or anything. Yeah, they're not. They're not doing
Careful
that.
there. Everyone's little people. Everyone's little people, right?
There's a cockroach, right? Yes. So, yeah, and they're talking about this. This is set in a time of tiny ideological and industrial revolution. And basically Europe overcoming old disagreements and making new alliances.
Okay.
So $14.95 gets you everything, and that's a $65 retail value. Wow. And the physical books, to
covered by the
chat. Actually do that. Yeah, covered by the chat. Physical books are gorgeous. Yeah, they're really gorgeous. So the layout, the graphic design, the layout and illustration are amazing.
Well, after seeing Outgunned and backing Outgunned Adventure, I was really impressed with like the quality of those books, both like the book itself, the art inside, and the layout. And I have to think that Household isn't any different.
Oh yeah, it's actually more. It's more lush, and I think the illustrator maybe leans more into this setting and the incredible creativity of the setting, like because it's you're very free to kind of like use different inspiration. So what that includes is the Household Core Rule Book, which includes the Quick Start Guide that was a pay what you want during their original Kickstarter, Practical Guide to Living Inside the House, which is rules expansion, and then their campaign source book, a Saga of the Fragile Peace. And this is all in preparation for the Backer Kit crowdfunding campaign for Welcome to the Garden, which will be the new Household Volume 2 expansion, which takes you outside the house into the wilds of the garden, and so adding new races and new companions. And is a moth more lovable than a bumblebee? Well, we'll find out in this new expansion.
I thought you were actually asking me. All right.
It's not rhetorical. I really need to know. and these are hefty books. The core book is 320 pages.
Right.
The supporting a background book 208, and then the campaign is 208. So it's a lot of pages. Like you can see this, it's a pretty heavy.
It's hefty, yeah.
To ship this to Japan was not nice.
I can imagine.
And I'm doing it again,
Oof,
unfortunately.
all right.
And then a really nice included in the base pledge was a really nice miniatures, really nice selection of miniatures. So they actually did 3D miniatures of the illustrations. It's just really beautiful. So this is going to continue to be supported, and that's nice to see because they've had such success with Outgunned. You'd think that that's all we would be seeing is more and more and more. But I think there's a real dedicated fan base to Household, and I think coming from the original Italian version, so they're it's good that it's getting some love because they really produce gorgeous books. So keep an eye out for that coming. I think later this month. There's an announcement for what the pledge is going to be, what it's going to consist of for Household Volume 2, and there's going to be an art book, like an only art book.
Yep, I've seen that too. Yeah.
So wonderful. Keep an eye out. All right, and then something else that popped up is Star Trek Adventures got a second edition. That book is out. It's at retail. I haven't taken a look at it yet, but they're also giving us a starter set. And the starter set for the first edition was actually a really nice way to jump into it.
Okay.
You could right away play very easily because it kind of helped you into the rules. You're playing pre-gen characters, and it was a fun little scenario. And the nice thing about the starter set, it gives you dice and then a ton of tokens. So when you're all that currency for
is there a lot of currency?
2D20 games,
Okay.
Yeah, the kind of momentum and threat kind of stuff. There's a lot of the tokens to throw around, and really well made like little folios for the each of the pre-gen characters, and a quick little adventure. So so for the second edition, this is the starter set, and it's going to be comprised of a short campaign, 60 pages, with sandbox style rules, character sheets, dice, and tokens that really the design and everything are really thematic, so it works really well. And of course, the intention for this is to play it straight out of the box, so that you can get running easily. And this second edition got rid of the D6s, so you've only got D20s in this, and that makes it a little bit more freeform about, I think, how you're determining things, like because you're not rolling specific damage numbers. So I think it's going to be closer to what they did with Dune, where you're creating more of these abstract things. As I have this weapon, but it just gives me an advantage to overcome this enemy, so I can decide if I want to stun them, if I want to kill them. And that's going to kind of shift how difficult it is, how difficult those rolls will be, and what I need to do to make that possible. And I think that works well with Star Trek, is taking away damage numbers and stuff, so people aren't just like having phaser shootouts. Because
well, I mean, okay, I'm still chewing my way through season 3 of Star Trek Next Generation,
right.
And there have been a few phaser shootouts, but it seems like maybe except you're like a main character. Like as soon as someone gets hit, they're either like down or out, or if they've got the phasers on kill, they're gone a couple times, right? I mean, except for like dramatic purposes. I'm thinking like that one time, like Riker had to shoot that like assassin like 3 times, but he was trying to like stop her first, right? It's like, stop it, don't make me crank it up. All right, you're gone, right? So yeah, okay. Like you said, removing damage numbers, you probably don't need it, right?
And so it probably will abstract things a little bit more, but I think they'll handle it well. It was a little bit of a learning curve with Dune, but the advantage to that with Dune especially is you could change the scale of things, and players could do things with kind of agents, like second third party kind of groups of people that would involve roles, but it was abstracted enough. It's like, okay, we're going to send infiltrators to get this information. Was that successful? Or we have rules for just our conversation, our
nice. Okay,
negotiation.
that seems to really fit.
So hopefully this will help ship combat and things in Star Trek, which in the original version was just okay. Hopefully this will.
Well, like I said last week, ship combat's pretty boring in Star Trek, right?
Right.
But it's not the point, right? Yeah.
But you can make your running down the hallway roll at an angle.
Yep. No, you're just sitting there.
Oh, that's right. He doesn't fall. Fall off.
Maybe have that one extra guy in the back go. Right.
Right. Yeah, so you can play in every era of Star Trek from the original series to Voyager and beyond. They even have a Lower Decks expansion, so you can play the cartoon version if you'd like.
People say Lower Decks is fantastic. I can't get past that art style.
Oh yeah. It's a little
it's too close to the adult cartoon style. I'm just like
all that Netflix garbage and stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true. So this is coming next month, December. So you can pre-order that. The retail, so they gave us the pounds. So converted from British pounds, it's $31.12.
I wondered if that number had any kind of significance.
Yes, I don't think so. $31.12. Those are the coordinates, or no?
Possibly. Yeah. I thought they were doing something clever like that, but no. Okay.
So this might be worth trying out just for a taste of it. And if you're kind of it's supposedly backwards compatible, with everything you've already bought, all the supplements and stuff they've already produced. It's kind of backward. You're just kind of ignoring those D6s basically.
Right. I do have to wonder if what you said about, if you've already bought all the supplements, and that made me think starter sets are obviously aimed at people who are starting the game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Probably have nothing. I have to wonder if that is actually what happens, right? Irregardless of game or IP or whatever, right? Sorry, like our starter sets, so it would be great to have some kind of numbers or some kind of poll or whatever information. Our starter sets generally picked up or purchased by more people who are brand new to this IP
right.
at least, or are they mostly picked up by people who are already in the hobby and in this IP and just want to collect everything? Or I would really like to know.
Yeah, and I suppose it depends on what stores they can get these into and stuff. Yeah, if you can get it on Amazon and get it in Walmart, you're going to get a lot more people trying it out, saying,
I wonder if you will though.
Yeah, I don't know if
I don't know.
Yeah, because I'm not sure. Yeah, I really the board games have really changed in the big box stores. There's a huge selection of board games, but but I don't think tabletop role play has quite made that same widespread. I mean, I think Hasbro's trying, but
yeah, well, not anymore with the digital stuff.
Yeah, right.
I really wonder if someone is already. I mean, you might pick up a couple people, right, walking by. Ooh, Star Trek. Oh, a role playing game. I've heard about these. Okay, let me try. Generally, I think you're only going to attract people who already know what it is, and they've probably already gone to like a dedicated store or Amazon or something. So the whole point is, I would really I'm not like to know, it's not necessary. I'm curious whether role-playing game starter sets actually appeal and are purchased by people who are new to the hobby.
Yeah. For me, the appeal is definitely a really cheap way to get the dice and tokens, and to have an adventure. You can just let's try this out, so without having to do too much preparation yourself to try a new system.
That's still kind of the same thing. Like if you're like, ooh, I've heard of this game, I've been interested in trying it, here's the starter set, it's relatively cheap. I still kind of count that as not exactly new to the hobby, but like new to this one particular game. Yeah. So take a look at that. I'll put a link to the order page for that, and it'll be out soon, just in time for Christmas. We're getting all kinds of affiliate deals on that, aren't we?
Oh yes. Yeah.
Probably not.
No, not for Modiphius, unfortunately. But yes, and the next thing. So this was interesting, and it's funny that they felt they had to release an apology, so that means that this is highly anticipated, and they felt they were disappointing the player base. Okay. But Corvus Belli has announced that they will have to delay until December the release for Infinity N5, which is the latest edition of their rules for the sci-fi kind of skirmish game, and released a statement that said, we're so sorry. The original, sorry. The original date was November 18th. They expected to be able to release this. It says it doesn't look like this is going to happen. We're pushing it back until December. We don't know December what. We'll tell you specifically once we have a better idea. And I would anticipate it's probably not. It may be because they're always producing in two languages. So Corvus Belli's a Spanish company, so they're producing in two languages, and maybe they've gotten enough feedback that they want to from beta testers and stuff. Then maybe they want to do another pass on the editing and kind of smooth out the English or clarification of language in the rules. So this it's not a huge delay, and it is. It's funny that they know people are like chomping at the bit, to like really get this out. They have already put up a pre-order for the starter set for N5, which is called Operation Sandtrap. I'll put a link to that. It's got a lot of positive responses on social media, and so it's going to. I think this is they maybe wanted to get this out, before the holidays, right. But it just like they would have rushed it and probably released something that had like some really unnecessary errors. And if they're going to go through all the expense of going to print with this, they probably should release a decent product. But it's funny compared to video games, when they say, oh, it's going to be next year, and the year after that, maybe. I mean, this is just like a matter of weeks, and they're like, we're so sorry, yeah, but it may mean a lot. It may be a huge difference between releasing it before the holiday and releasing it not in time. For people to buy it as Christmas presents. But delays happen, and I think they handled it the best way possible, because they're silence or just saying this date's no longer valid is not a great way to do it. But they did a big statement in English and Spanish on Twitter and let everybody know. And what's really nice is their army builder and everything has the rules kind of built into it and everything hyperlinked. So
nice.
As soon as this gets released and you're like, what does camouflage do? And you just click it, and it's right there. So they really do a good job of making the rules really accessible. And once this new version is out, and I think that they've gone through some pain to kind of simplify things, because by N4 is getting a little bit complicated. There were so many ways you could activate activate your units in different groups and different kind of command structures, and even just building your force was like, okay, what should I where am I even going with this? So they've kind of combined some things and simplified some things down a little bit to make it easier to get into, because I think the existing player base was probably enjoying that level, that raised level of complexity and options, but it was kind of keeping out new.
So it's kind of like historical wargaming,
right?
Where you're just like, how can anyone new to the hobby read this gobbledygook? And the old beards are like, oh yeah, that totally makes sense, right?
Yes. And so Operation Sandtrap is the Pan-Oceania and the Japanese secessionist army, the JSA, so that may or may not be exciting.
What they succeeded from.
Oh, yes. It was a whole thing, yeah. But so we'll keep an eye out for when that gets released, and that's something definitely. Nick, who I played the Zone Wars with, is really into Infinity. Take a look at the Zombie Sashimi channel on Twitch and YouTube. He paints a lot of the Corvus Belli miniatures, and I think even does like tutorials and stuff on the game. So if you're interested at all in Infinity, he's a good place to start.
I'm jealous of the amount of time he has.
I know. Well, he grinds. I mean, because to get anywhere on Twitch, you got to put in the hours, and so do a full day of work, get home, turn on the camera, and start painting. Yikes. And finally, we'll end on a dark and ugly note. Non-political, purely economic. I'm not mentioning any parties or words or last names, but Belle of La Souls released an article called, or I guess like a opinion piece, basically bracing for impact. So higher tariffs and the tabletop games industry. This is Larry Vella over there, and I've never been reliable. They're a little clickbaity on this site.
Okay.
But this caught my attention right away. He's talked to industry veterans, and there's no names, so his sources will remain anonymous. And they're talking about a chain reaction that can inflict, and this is in the most apocalyptic terms is how this whole article reads, but inflict untold damage to the tabletop gaming industry.
If it's untold damage, you can't go any further because you can't talk about it.
Oh, that's right. It's untold. Yes.
Sorry, I had to get that.
So we're talking about these tariffs, the promise of ridiculous tariffs by this new administration. So the promised goal is protecting U.S. goods, but with the global market, that seems to be a little 19th century thinking. So this raising tariffs, so the taxes and duties paid on imports or exports, and what has been proposed by someone, so all non-U.S. manufacturing goods will get a 20% tariff. All Chinese manufactured goods will get an additional, so 20 plus. So this doesn't make any sense. So additional 60 to 100%. So are some things going to be taxed 120%? I don't know, man. Anyhow, so and that's the criticism is we're looking to a return to the 19th century in our thinking. So basically, he breaks down a little bit of the business and talks about the industry norm for cost of goods sold. the ratio that they use for manufacturing costs, how much it costs to make something, and then what the retail price is set at is usually about 5 to 1. And so doing this like little hypothetical thing, if you had a game, a imaginary game that costs you $6 to make, and you set the retail MSRP at $30, this is how it would be affected. So the straight $20 tariff is going to be $7.20. It's going to bring you up to probably about $36. 80% if it was produced in China is going to be about $10.80, bringing it up to $54 for your retail price from the original $80. And if you get hit with the ultimate, the highest level, the 120%, that's going to mean your $6 game you need to charge $66
Well,
for. I mean, this is all hypothetical.
Yeah, gotcha. I think I've seen articles on this, or not articles, but little blogs on this as well. And the main takeaway I got from it is that there's a lot of stuff that can't be produced in the U.S., which is why this is going to suck for everybody. But I mean, okay, looking at those numbers, okay, I'm not an industry professional. It said a 5 to 1 ratio, right? However much it cost you to produce this, you got a suggested retail price is 5 times that. And okay, that might be, no idea, that might be an industry standard, or that might be like best practices saying like to kind of be successful enough, you should be aiming for around this kind of return.
Right.
I don't know where that number comes from. You might have to put it down to like 4 to 1, 3 to 1.
Or like Games Workshop, or is it to 2,000 to 1? I think you can, because the 30 pence of plastic that they sell you for.
Yeah, man, that is 30 pence of expertly and exquisitely sculpted plastic.
That's right.
Sorry, I had to. No, anyway, sorry. Yeah, continue.
Yeah, so the criticism is, the bandwidth just does not exist to increase book publishing domestically in the U.S. to these levels. It has to be done, and I think even before all this nonsense, before China really opened up to be the manufacturing hub of the world, we relied a lot on Canada, because I remember in the 80s and 90s there were like censorship issues and things that Canada would refuse to print, as far as like Heavy Metal magazine and things. I think ran into some problems with producing stuff in Canada,
like
so they wanted
Simon Beasley art.
Yeah, right. It was specifically him. So I wonder if they're going to, between Canada and America, if they're not going to have some sort of understanding. So ultimately, what this is going to do is, hurt smaller independent producers and smaller companies. Hasbro, Games Workshop, whatever, they're going to be fine. It will be interesting to see if Games Workshop sees North America as a big enough market that they actually set up a factory, like a plastic.
Weren't they planning to do that?
They've got a warehouse with like a robot that they set up in like Kentucky or something. They do have a pretty sophisticated warehouse and fulfillment center now, I think, in North America. But I wonder if they're going to do that, because they just we're talking about breaking ground for a giant paint factory in Nottingham. So in addition to what they already have. So for book printing, so book printers in the U.S. After COVID either went out of business or were gobbled up by the bigger companies. So when the pandemic kind of hit publishing, basically Simon & Schuster and Penguin Random House ate up everybody that couldn't make it. And what unfortunately this could produce is an all-out trade war. So retaliatory, tariffs against, to make up for what America is charging everyone in the business that it's costing.
In other words, we'd be sitting on a bunch of crap we couldn't sell.
Right. Yes. But I think China would have the most crap, though. So yes. So one of the statements from an expert, that is the no-named expert, was, we could be looking at a return to the 19th century, a return to a world of tariff wars, where it's extremely hard for globalism and multinational trade to be financially viable for any of the largest companies. So that's exactly what they want, though, I think. Return to a world where where most companies have to cater only to their home nation. So that'll be interesting to see. And the other prediction that was made is, if this does happen, if Chinese produced goods that are supposed to be incorporated into board games continue, the prediction is we're likely to see a 20 to 25% of the industry retailers out of business in 18 to 36 months. Because if you're not carrying stuff made from China, or if it's prohibitively expensive to import it. So yes, so crowdfunding is definitely going to take a hit from this because they're doing, most of these companies are doing everything they can to make these logistics work and figuring out where to produce things and how to, get them together to combine orders for fulfillment and things. And but the one silver lining that they're seeing in this dark cloud is talking about 3D printing. This could be because plastic goods, I think would be the number one thing. I mean, but the Siocast, the ability to produce in Siocast localizes things a little bit more. So you could have production, lower cost production in domestic markets. But this may push things towards 3D printing even more. But the only problem with that is 3D printing is mostly 3D printers and their components are mostly made in China. So you got to get the printer out of China.
So hurry up and get all the printers over here.
Yes, so buy your printers now.
I would be curious. Okay. Oh, it's raining pretty good right now. Anyway, sorry, I just noticed something. Not completely unrelated to the conversation. Mm-hmm. I wonder if 3D printing would be a way to do it. Of course, like you said, most of those are produced over in China. Mm-hmm. So I haven't super researched this, but the few things that I've picked up is like it would take numbers of years to get factories set up in home countries, right? Right. Where it's like, okay, well, we really need this thing from now. Okay, well,
get 2 years to wait. It's
yeah. Like it'll take us like 10 years to get up to the production capacity that's necessary. So it's not going to work. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So we'll see. And this is, who knows how real, once the reality of this sets in and how it's going to upset the world economy. I don't think America is going to try to pull this crap the way they think they are. But but we'll see. But finally, you people in North America are going to be paying the fucking prices that we're paying over here on this little archipelago. We're getting brutalized by.
You're one of those people. You're one of those.
Suck it.
You're one of those. Well, I struggled to get here.
Yes.
Screw you.
Now you
have to struggle too.
Yes,
ha ha ha.
Your crowdfunders are going to be as painful as they are for me. Yeah, so this is not good because all of this stuff favors the larger companies that can that can suffer these losses, endure these extra expenses, and then
all those people
and then just buy up the little companies that have interesting IPs and stuff. So I hope this doesn't have the catastrophic apocalyptic effect that they're talking about in this article. But we shall see. I mean, it may be the end of the world anyhow. We may not be. Maybe just be fighting for our lives and for gasoline and not worrying about tabletop roleplay anymore. So it could go that way. We'll just be wandering the wasteland.
Wandering the wasteland with like all these like you hit the mother load of little plastic pieces and stuff. It's like that'll be the currency. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so one last thing that caught my attention that I didn't put in the list, but there was a funny article about Dementia 20's Unsleeping City thing that they were doing. So they're selling tickets, and I think it's like Madison Square Garden or some gigantic venue.
Right.
But they were using Ticketmaster. Foolishly, these idiots align themselves with Ticketmaster. So they have this dynamic pricing model where things kind of shift around, depending on when you're buying and who like if you're ordering it for, maybe if you're online trying to buy them from Los Angeles or San Francisco, hey, you probably got money, or you're using an iPhone, you definitely have money. So here we're going to charge you a little differently. The prices ranged for these tickets for the show from $80 to $200+ and as much as $2,500 to go watch an actual play.
Wow.
So Dimension 20 said this is bullshit. Like all the musical acts are realizing Ticketmaster is a fucking shit show. So they have decided to open up a lottery for a limited number of tickets to kind of apologize for this, and $35 kind of flat rate. Oh, wow. So anybody that's still interested in seeing, they're going to release tickets by lottery for a reasonable price. But if you're willing to pay $2,500 to listen to an actual play, we have some actual plays that you may want to hear. Oh my God! I was wondering if you want to do that. Well, that's going to be our new tier for actual play.
You know what? $2,500.
That's some good actual play. But it's a Madison Square Garden show. Gauntlet at the Garden.
Things are worth what people are willing to pay.
Yeah. So big fan. I don't think I could forgive myself if I paid that kind of money to watch Dimension 20. But
us on the other hand,
yes, but
money well spent.
It is money well spent. It is just time. Just literally your time is incredibly well spent doing that.
You know, I'm making $2,500 an hour. Huh?
Yes. Oh, yeah. And so speaking of which, thank you to Calerion. Here, I'll pop this up again. For there we go, for contributing for the super chat for we finished our outgunned Indie Heat campaign, and Calerion gave us a big thank you. So thanks again, Calerion. It's much appreciated. Yes, and that will go. Oh, that actually. That actually went already to pay for the module for Foundry for Alien. Oh, so cool. Yeah, you're perpetuating this. You're making dreams come true. This madness. Yeah. Yes.
You are enabling Jeremy.
So yes, so that works out perfectly because just timing to jump systems and jump games. All right, so that will do it for this week. So where can people find you?
On Blue Sky, which is popping off so hard, it's struggling to actually work. There's so many
really?
People.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, they are.
That's good.
That's good. And then someone on there said, okay, it would be extremely bad if like they couldn't resolve the issues just as all these people are flocking over. But
yeah,
anyway.
That's true.
So it's Blue Sky, which the combination of, hey, quiet over there. The combination of more people going on Blue Sky and Buffer finally being able to post to Blue Sky. Conan's back as well. So.
No way. Oh, beautiful. Yep. Oh, nice. So yeah, give me that link.
I will.
Yeah, I'll make sure I'll post that.
I've set up a link tree for him. So.
Oh, cool. Yep. Okay, that's perfect.
So Blue Sky, Threads. I'm not on Mastodon. I'm on Instagram though. That's Hivemind, HYVEMYND. Where, what am I talking about? I don't know. I managed to carve out like a half hour for myself to start basing the 2mm Gallic army for De Bellas Antiquitatis 3.
Awesome.
It's just like a picture of like 20mm square bases with little blobs of metal on them, and you can't tell what anything is because they're 2mm, right? But I promise you, those are chariots, warriors, and some cavalry.
Yes. Use your imagination.
And not half grains of rice, right? Yep.
Yeah, when you start painting grains of rice, I'm gonna have to call a professional.
You know what? These are smaller than grains of rice.
Yeah, right. No, that's true. That's true. Yeah, you've actually gone beyond the danger. Yep. Beyond the line. All right.
So how about you?
All right, so Abuse Cartoons is still waiting for its November live stream, so that should happen next week. So Abuse Cartoons on YouTube and Twitch. So subscribe to get notified when that comes up. But it also pops up on this channel. So if you're already subscribed here, it will pop up. And I think we lose a steady number of subscribers every time. People are like, why is this guy drawing cartoons on a tabletop channel? But anyhow, so yeah, look for that.
Using a tabletop?
Yeah, I do use it. It is. I'm sitting at a table, so so I draw my single panel gag cartoon. You can read that cartoon at Go Comics. So gocomics.com/domestic abuse, and yeah, we also do stuff on Upturned Tables. So if you'd like to support the weekly, yes, if you'd like to support what we're doing here on the weekly, consider becoming a weekling.
The strongest of all supporters
at patreon.com/upturnedtable. There you can let us know what more you want to see on the weekly and what else, suggest games and things you'd like to see us play in actual plays, and even things to just unbox and discuss. Yes. So, yeah, and then upturnedtable.com is the website, and then on all social media, Upturned Table. So, yeah, YouTube and Twitch, subscribe to one of those to get notifications when we go live for the weekly and also for the actual play live streams. And speaking of which, I just put the 14 hours, almost 15 hours of audio for Outgunned up on the Patreon RSS feed. Yeah. So it was a hefty thing. I can't do, so YouTube maxes out at 12 hours for videos. So we can't do our whole session. Yeah, all of our sessions combined.
Break it up,
yeah. I even took out the session 0 and it still was too big. So, but the audio is there on Patreon.
Complete with like funky 80 beats?
Yeah. Yes, there is. Yeah, we got there's little sax music, a little techno. You're going to love it. And lots of pink neon. And bikinis, too. So,
pink neon bikinis, okay.
All right. So that'll do it for this week. We will be back next week.
Later, mortals.
Goodbye. All right. So how's everybody doing? I don't think the combined chat is working at all, but that's okay. No more kick in the chat, just for Matt's sanity sake. All right. Oh, you're talking about, yeah, Star Trek. What do we got here? Yeah, Matt Matt wishes to join that class action suit of investors to shake some money out of Hasbro. Yeah, if you would have just bought that that single share. Nice. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Alien. It's a fun system, and so we'll be playing the first edition, original version. So it'll be a fun discussion about what we would like to see in the revised rules, or what rules we didn't think worked well, because they already have kind of spoiled it. It's I think the panic mechanic, the combat, and stealth have been reworked more into something that works with miniatures, because they're producing miniatures as well. But we'll see. We'll see if I think the way the system works well. So Abyss says, I wish I could love anything Star Trek, but I can't get myself to watch Lower Decks or what they did with the new Trek. Yeah, the new Trek just keeps on rolling, doesn't it? Yeah, so Abyss is talking about, it's going to suck if they put tariffs on the EU then, because we will be paying 50% extra, 50 to 60% extra on top of the extra tax for free league content. Yeah, it's really going to get ridiculous. Luxury goods, this is Abyss. Luxury goods like board games should be possible, but I can't imagine you would save any costs, whatsoever on global shipping tax, because the cost of labor is rising. The cost of wood and labor is rising. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I think Japan has already done that, has already redefined and added categories, because it seems like for their customs, for their imposed tariffs, they have specific categories that they enforce, and I think games got on that list, probably to protect the localization companies that are doing it. But hey, Miguel, how's it going? Yeah, probably. I'm sure Games Workshop is going to raise their prices in anticipation of the new American regime. That's crazy. Yeah, so it's going to. The frustrating thing about the increase is you're not going to see that until the products arrive. And on most crowdfunding pages, they say, hey, we don't know, what kind of local fees are going to be imposed. Don't complain, we're not responsible. And so they're going to try to probably not help out, the backers with any of that stuff. So we will see. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so the maker of the Battletech minis, Miguel, is saying open an office in the U.S. Yeah, I think stuff that's popular in the American market, we may see them to try to get around that. But it's going to be expensive. I mean, the factory work in America is expensive. Business saying it's doable in Poland. They have multiple miniatures and board game manufacturers. Yeah, I've been seeing a lot, like Lithuania they do a lot of printing. A lot of books that I get from EU designers and stuff are printed in Lithuania. So EU might be safe with domestic production, but America, I don't know. I think they've lost too many of their smaller printers. That's crazy. Abyss says, speaking of disgusting and disturbing practices, last week I saw a Kickstarter from Gag Chaosium. Oh no. Abyss, not a Chaosium fan, had a Kickstarter dedicated to vomit. Elves. Sorry, it was a long way to get there. Chaosium and elves. Oh my goodness. Abyss is going to shower. An RPG about living in forests and having fun adventures as elves. How dare they? I almost reported them to the FCC for making such an abomination. Yes, the anti-elf sentiment keeps rolling hard in in the chat. Miguel saying, I heard horror stories of Kickstarter getting labeled as games than customs, considering that computer games are getting hit with higher tariffs. Yeah, that is definitely the problem. If you put, depending on how they're calling things, it could get grouped into larger categories or miscategorized. Yeah, I just know that everything I've gotten hit with, anything near with the Japanese equivalent of $100, over $100 gets another $30 on top of that for tariff. So that's been an unpleasant surprise, especially when you're buying from. It's more expensive because you're buying from like indie designers and stuff, so they charge more for their books. And if you get the core book plus anything else, then you're paying another $30 on top of the brutal shipping because they don't have the resources to or the scale to scout the cheaper shipping options. And I've had to just stop backing, and I think also they've made it unavailable in most cases. But Goodman Games and Chaosium and stuff, that when they do crowdfunding, they have no good options for international shipping, and I think in a lot of times they regionally restrict it anyhow. So it's just not easy to do. Miguel says, did you guys hear that Bandai is raising Gundam prices? Well, they don't need to do that. I guess though they should have a tourist price on all the Gundam model kits. Should have a tourist price and then a domestic price for all the people buying stuff up here. Yeah, it's crazy. But so looking forward to some, and it's really beautiful. I got the module installed for just specifically. So it's the starter set module. So if you're interested in running Chariot of the Gods, it's included in the starter set. So for Foundry, you get the starter set, you get the kind of the smaller rule set, but then you get all the pre-gens and art assets and everything, and the maps and stuff. And of course, the ship maps are all walled and lit, so you can really crawl the the derelict ship in this adventure. Because it's you're moving zones, and it's like revealing to the players, and if the players can actually separate because each of their tokens only shows what they've revealed. So it could be good. It could be nice and scary. And I think I'll just, depending on how the group is feeling, kind of just let things go as long as you want, and not like try to speed anything up, because there's a lot of interesting dynamics in the adventure. It's 3 acts. And you can make it, you can easily make it a one-shot by cutting a few things out and kind of forcing timers, on the situation. But that feels a little unnecessary, especially if we get a really good, horror vibe going. So we'll see. Oh, and I need to ask, and you have to tell me, you have to tell the game mother, I have to ask the players before we start if any of them are androids. And we'll go from there. But you have to tell me. Just like if you're a cop, you got to tell me. Because that's that there is a mechanic for that as well. What will be funny is if the whole crew is androids. No. We'll end up with that Blade Runner scenario where they start their own resistance. Oh yeah, and this is in space. Yeah, this is the art is gorgeous, and they give you these art assets in the Foundry module. So this is the derelict. It's a little bit of a spoiler, but maybe from the name and also some of the early setup, you get the idea that this is possible. But it's the crew approaching the derelict. So it's be a very familiar setup. There will be a warning. Nah. Yeah, but it's fun. There's but I'll kind of like let the players know. So the only problem with playing as an android, so you get a different agenda than the character would have had, but you play as, until you're revealed, you play as the original pre-gen character. That's kind of your cover story. So you play that up like that's a real thing. As soon as you're revealed, it triggers panic in the crew, and as soon as you go into as soon as PvP starts, as soon as a player gets into combat with an android, the android instantly becomes an NPC, because the game master has to kind of run that so it's not so it doesn't turn into Deathmatch Island. So that's the only. So that's the warning. If you do want to be an android, the only warning is as soon as somebody attacks you, then you have to play another character. You have to switch characters. Yes. Nice. So Matt says, I want to play a crewman pretending to be an android, pretending to be a human, because they figured out androids get paid more. Yes. And you don't get as tired. Yes. And because in space, you cannot escape the green tint. Yeah, the artwork. Yeah, most of the artwork is not that first cover. I mean, the whole book itself is very green, and that was the problem when this was first released. They don't have the example of the. I'll just show you the original ship. So this is the Montero that the crew is on, and printing these out to do any sort of crawl on this, I flipped it to white and pink. I think it was basically white and hot pink so that it's printable, because Free League only released this black and this green text on black, and even for the character sheet. So I built a printer friendly character sheet, which Free League of course has addressed that since. But just to play it, I did rebuilt the character sheets and everything so we could actually play it, and I wouldn't have to spend all that ink to just print it out. But yeah, because that was nice though, because we had the in the in-person session we had the maps, we had the schematics like physically on the table, and the other thing you can watch. So that whole thing is on the channel. Just search for the Alien RPG, and I've kind of filled the table with like the drinking bird and props and things, because just like the other systems, you have an item, you have a what do they call it, your favorite item, your little thing you use to comfort yourself, your personal what is it called your item that you hold on to, signature item. So you have your signature item. And that was nice for role play in person, because people were kind of like fiddling with that the whole time. So it helped them to kind of like be that character, whether they had a bottle of pills or a coffee cup or their lanyard with their corporate ID on it. It was a fun way to like add just a little bit extra, to what they were doing. And we lit it all from underneath with just fluorescent tubes, so it had a good alien-y type look. But it was a pain in the ass to pull off, and also, and I put that up on the members area. So the debrief for those sessions, that campaign, is up in the members area. If you want to take a look at that, and it'll be fun to, since we're doing this again, to compare. We'll do another, because the players from the US are going to probably choose different characters, the pre-gens, and play them differently, so it'll be fun to see the dynamic. But there is a buddy and rival kind of built in, and that kind of feeds the agendas and the storyline as well. So it's not, you can't probably change that too much, but if you do switch characters, if your character dies and you do change characters, they do say you have the ability to choose new buddies or reconfigure things, just based on what you've role played or what you've seen happening before. Yes, stuck in 2005. Every game has a green tint and finally moved past the browns. Yeah, I wonder if they're gonna, because they're doing new art for the revised version. So I wonder if they'll stick with green, or because didn't Prometheus, wasn't there heads-up displays and stuff? Wasn't it orange? I think it was like black on orange and stuff. So they may like do just so you can like physically tell the books apart. Well, they may do a kind of a new art direction. But yeah, good stuff. And it was fun. It's fun to actually, because I was only reading this as a PDF before. I should have printed it out, but like I said, it was difficult to print out in this form. But it's nice to have the physical copy. So this comes in the starter set for Alien, the one with the red cover on it, as well as the funky dice. And yes, there are, for the dice roller for Foundry, the funky dice are in there, as well as the tables. The only thing I'm worried about that I'll have to look up before Friday night is so automatically it will roll on critical tables when those mechanics are triggered, and so it's very hard to remove that from the character sheet. I don't know if it's something that completely doesn't work in the role play, like you broke your toe when something is biting your head or something. We'll have to figure that out. I'll have to figure out if we can change, because some attacks and things specifically say this generates this critical injury, but sometimes you're just rolling random things, and those instantly get put on your character sheet and instantly have the consequence, the limit, whatever your mobility or whatever is. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I hope I can pull this off and give it like a nice amount of atmosphere, because it should be fun. So this is just kind of a delayed Halloween session, pretty much, because we needed to finish Indie Heat while we still had the momentum. So this should be and this will. I mean, VSN was horrific, but it never got. Maybe never quite got there. So we'll see how Alien goes. So everyone was sent a dry ice machine and some flickering Chiron, sirens and alerts and stuff. So you'll be triggering all of those in your own personal space as they go off. Yeah, I probably need to find something, because that's a thing that happens quite a bit in these scenarios, is an alert, an alarm from Mother. So I'll try to find something not too annoying, but that can get that across. Alien's a good game for a soundboard too, because there's some nice stuff that can be triggered that already, the kind of key that gives good hints and kind of thematic stuff to the players before you're actually hearing it or seeing it. So we'll see. Yes. Nice. Oh, Abyss. Nice. A dedicated follower. Oh, excellent. Arturo. Welcome, Arturo Tron. Robo Bartender. You are now a dedicated follower. Thanks, Abyss. That was very kind. Nice. Welcome, Arturo Tron. Yes, if you like Alien, tune in for Alien. Hey, Abyss. Whoa, what's going on? Thank you so much. And Torbjorn Olsen, excellent. Wonderful. Yeah, there's some wonderful lurkers on the channel. That's excellent. Yes, so if anybody who... I thought I shut off the sound. Nice. So yeah, take a look at the... the stuff that's up. Yeah, so the Alien debrief. Yeah, so those members can take a look at the Alien debrief. And... to get in the mood, and if you're interested in Alien, the Alien RPG, will be running that Chariot of the Gods. Yes, Miguel does not exist. He is purely the ghost in the machine spirit that can communicate with this fleshy side of the world. Well, welcome, members. Yeah, there's some audio up there for Mutant Chronicles with all kinds of crazy members only stuff. Yeah, I gotta figure out. I got some kind of personal schedule stuff that might make this impossible, but I want to do like another audiobook thing for December. I'm not sure the best way to do that, but I've got the old the Vor the Maelstrom novels, so I could read through a few of those. I don't think they're quite as pulpy and fun as the Mutant Chronicles stuff was, so we'll see. Yeah, Abyss, I agree with you. The gambling aspect of gifting is really odd. Yeah, because this could be people that just popped in. They watched an on-demand stream, and they're if they have gifting on their account, they just popped in and checked it out, and then left and said, fuck these guys." So suddenly they get a gift, but we might pull them in. Oh yeah, what is the status of Warzone? Yeah, I haven't. They look like they're a little bit further along than Chronopia as far as their production. But I just ordered the books, and I haven't heard anything about the books coming or not. I don't know. It's probably not going to make it for the end of the year. It would be nice. Yeah, I haven't got an update in a while. They seem to be more interested in demoing it at conventions than actually producing the game, so I have no idea. But yeah, as soon as that's out, I can't wait to take a look at those rules. And already got a lot of the miniatures, so we'll just work with what we've got and see how it plays. But yeah, so both Warzone and Chronopia are kind of in production limbo. But hopefully, I mean, they better, if who knows when stuff, it's probably like April, right? That's when they might impose stuff. It could be as early as January next year, but it could be April. They better get their stuff going, or else everyone's going to be paying extra money. I guess I already am. I don't know why I'm thinking I'm sitting in the U.S., but everybody, all the because if they're not producing stuff in America domestically, which they may be. I'm not sure where because the company that they're working with, I have to double check, but maybe Resnova is working with a U.S. Manufacturer if they're doing like the Siocast. That might be cool. We'll see. Urban War is resurrecting in Osaka. Oh, nice. Yeah, so we'll see when all that stuff is coming out. I'm not waiting impatiently because I know it's going to take time, and especially because, when they wanted to release these games, they wanted to do custom dice and dice trays and miniatures and books and cards and stuff. So they've got a lot of different manufacturing all over the world. They're going to have to consolidate for distribution. Yeah, sorry, I'm still fighting this allergy nightmare. I don't know what it's been like crazy unseasonably warm here, so something hasn't fucked off for the autumn and gone away. There's still something producing some kind of irritating flowers or something. But we'll see. Yeah, so and I'll be doing a couple of just as a promotion. YouTube, I guess, is trying to get everybody's member areas to have more content. So there was a promotion to do 2 long form videos for the members area. So that'll be happening for Upturned Table, and we'll see. Oh, Miguel saying the Iconoclasm guy is 50% off all the stuff he hoarded for these. Really? Oh, that's funny. Wow, I'll have to check that out. Who did Urban War? What company? That's funny. Oh, I'm not gonna. Oh, there we go. Is that on Board Game Geek? Yeah, there we go. Nice. Oh, uncredited designer publisher was Urban Mammoth. Oh, that's great. Yeah, that guy has hoarded some stuff, hasn't he? Sweet. Oh, those are cool miniatures. I'll have to take a look because that's right up my crazy alley. Yeah, nice. That's cool. Yeah, Miguel, if there's a local interest, that's good. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, he translated the 2008 rule set into Japanese. Nice. Yeah, I wonder if anybody still has the rights to it, if it's an actual active IP. Is it metal miniatures? There's nobody showing like the anything unpainted on Board Game Geek, I would imagine. Nice. The guy in charge of the game moved to the ex-Soviet Republic to work in the oil industry. Well, there we go. He'll create real urban warfare sometime soon, I'm sure. Nice. Yeah, I'll have to check that out. Another small force that will get limited play. Yeah, metal. Oh, cool. Nice. Yeah, I love those dead games that get some resurgence. Yeah, I wonder if Warzone they're going to be able to sustain anything, or if it's just going to end up being kind of a vanity project for Resnova. We'll find out. Biss is saying, any plans or anything to do outside the normal stuff? Oh yeah, I really, for one of the long form, I want to go through all the old tabletop stuff that I brought back. So I've got a bunch of the turtle stuff, the Palladium Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle stuff. So I might go through that before that stuff ships, before the crowdfunder is fulfilled, just so you can see like what the original books looked like and how they because I think the rules are not going to be changed. I think they just redid the layout and everything on the new edition. But I've got the old version and a bunch of old comics and stuff, so that might be fun to do. And then my old D&D stuff and miniatures. Sorry, a lot of the old Grenadier miniatures and stuff would be fun to go through. But yeah, that's what I'm mostly thinking, kind of nostalgia stuff that may not get a lot of, might be good for the member area and kind of but not get a lot of response just in the free part of the channel. So we'll see. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. That's a good idea. Yeah, really got to play around with that. I was thinking about that too, about doing like a regular solo gaming thing or whatever, just to add more content to the channel. Because Matt was giving me some good ideas about how alchemy could make that work pretty well, and the stuff that they already support. You know, because you can put yourself in a little window in there, and then just record the same way that we do for the actual plays. Oh, nice. Oh, that would be great. Yeah, I'll have to take a look then. Yeah, yeah. That would be fun. Yeah, very, very nostalgic stuff. So, yeah, that was fun. I want to get, just share some of that stuff that I recovered. And it's also fun to see, like, how that stuff ages, like, the rusty staples and, like, all the felt pen, like the felt tip marker pen coloring that I did in the old books and stuff. So this will be a look at, like, preteen, like how people used to interact with this stuff until it became the old man's geeky hobby. And also the I think that's really important to take a look at the escapism, like how that served the popularity really well. And I think it may be that same thing that kind of made it popular again now, like the rise of 5e and stuff. I think had a lot to do with people that wanted to have some kind of escapist social activity, not just with a headset and and a game controller. So yeah, that'll be fun to talk about. Yeah, thanks again, Abyss, for gifting those memberships. Very kind of you. Oh, excellent. All right. Yes, so Alien, and I think depending on how the session goes, because we'll have nice visuals, so I might not have to do too much to improve the visuals from Foundry, and but I wouldn't mind maybe going back to the audio and for the voice for the mother and everything, put some effects and stuff on those. I don't want to do that live because it's so much more distracting. That was the thing I had trouble with in the IRL session. Our actual face-to-face sessions for that, I had a voice changer kind of thing that I wanted to use when things were over comms or mother was talking, and it was really hard to remember to switch things over. But I had a microphone going through a voice changing unit, and then I put just a guitar amp under the table, so it was very booming audio. You can see that. I see it on the live stream, so it was fun to kind of play around with that. That was quite a quite a one-man show, but yeah, we'll get to try it again. Yeah, I'm really curious. Oh yeah, and Cyworld too. That's right. Yeah, I'll have to see see how hard I can push the group. So maybe in the new year we'll try out some Cyworld once everybody gets their Christmas presents. Oh, Matt, that's a great idea. Yeah, a solo cyborg series would be great. That's a really good idea. Cool. Yeah, sorry I missed that. Yeah, really good idea. Nice. Yeah, that's a great idea. Cool. Yeah, Fantasy Games Unlimited. Yeah, it's a little bit, the character creation stuff is like funny, like it's very nostalgically crunchy and silly how you're moving points around and stuff and how stuff is generated. So yeah, it'll be fun. Good stuff. And the fact that it's still in print, I just hope these aren't from the 80s. I hope these aren't like boxes that have been sealed in plastic since the 80s, like the old blood berets that I bought from Prince, the Irish company Prince and whatever. They have all the overstock from Warzone, and they were selling sealed copies of Blood Beret, but they were pretty dank. Yeah, inside the foam was already degrading. It was getting a little powdery. Like stuff had been in there all this time. Nice. So Miguel says, Catalyst clarified that Asia is not being served from the same place that in Australia, so we might get Battletech stuff for Christmas. Oh, interesting. Yeah, that's good. Miguel may have a Merry Christmas. Prince Albert? Is it Prince Albert? It's Prince. Is it Prince Albert? That's the piercing. Prince August. Prince Albert. You almost got me there, Miguel. Prince Albert is the genital piercing. Yeah, Prince August has. If you're interested in the old metal, in the old Warzone Mutant Chronicles metal, they got a ton. I don't know if they're recasting it or they got the rights to overstock. Oh, and you can still get a blood beret, a box of blood berets, and it's the sealed original box from the 90s. So you might get a mouse carcass or a mouse corpse as well. You never know. Very cool. Oh yeah, Bushido. Oh yeah, I think I don't think that one is still in print, but I do think they had it on the website. The digital versions. Nice. Yeah, and Villains and Vigilantes is they don't even have a lot of the core stuff digital. It was all a lot of this like supplementary stuff that came a lot later. A ton of support stuff, but none of the original. So I was looking at people selling the original physical stuff, and it's pretty pricey. Nice. Yeah, hopefully everything goes. Oh, cool. Yeah, they had the yeah, that's right. Originally, Prince August had the starter set for 2nd edition Warzone. All the plastic. Yeah, what was it? Imperial and Bauhaus. Yeah, those were cool. I mean, they're very 90s. one piece cast, but it's great. There's a ton of it, and it was pretty reasonable. They sold that. I mean, it was not that long ago, maybe like 5 years or so, that they sold out of that. But they still have blood berets and a lot of the wonky metal. You gotta love the old Warzone metal. Cool. All right, I think the combined chat is kind of working. Yeah, so we'll see what I wonder how this holiday season is going to go. If there's going to be optimism or cautious hoarding. People are going to be like buying large quantities of drinking water and ready to eat meals. Yeah. Aftermath had hit location diagrams where people, made it look like cuts of meat. Nice, cause post-apocalypse. Yeah, nice. Oh yeah, when are Abyss and Miguel gonna start doing their podcast where you spread the word of the God Emperor and convince people to buy more plastic than they do need? Yes. Buy more. Oh. Prince August. Yeah, sometimes they have, if you're interested in any of that metal, sometimes they have good sales. They'll do pretty big discounts on stuff. But shipping's gotten a lot worse. But yeah, they're always that's why I'm wondering if they have the molds or something to recast, because they'll re-release stuff and it's not, or they'll say they have more stuff in stock, and I don't think they're finding it out in the world, and it ships in just plastic bags. So I wonder if they have the molds to do the casting, and they're just kind of anything that still works. I don't know. Yeah, Games Workshop is not doing anything very exciting for the holiday. They usually they have their their Battle Force boxes or whatever. It's just the same crap again and again. Yeah, Mantic did. Did you see the calendars? What are those called? Advent calendars that Mantic did. They did one for their fantasy and one for the sci-fi. But I think a lot of the stuff that's in there is the plastic that I already have from like some of their big mystery boxes and stuff. But they did a themed So they're playable games, kind of more like a board game or like a simplified strategy game. But all of the pieces to play it are, in the advent calendar. So that was a cute holiday gimmick. That was a good idea. Yeah. All Games Workshop does is that red Gobbo, the new Gobbo miniature for $50 or whatever. Nice. Yes, not a green screen. Uh-oh. Miguel says Games Workshop is already sending the Pinkertons to his place. Nice. Yeah, that's what it should be, the Games Workshop Codependency Podcast. How many metric tons of gray plastic do you have? Oh, nice. Nice. Get on some terrain, yeah. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Yeah, but we'll get some new stuff for the new year. And I don't think schedule-wise I'm going to be able to produce as much as usual for like audiobook content and stuff, but we'll see. And I got to get my voice to be a little better. I'm just, coughing and something. We got to get rid of, I guess there's like 3 typhoons right now that are just kind of lurking around. Like the Japan, or I guess like south. I guess it's south of Japan, and they've been holding this like high pressure center like over us. So it's been unseasonably warm and humid here. So it's we need a cold snap, which means the fall leaf color is going to suck. Or already does. It's just not going to happen because it didn't get cold enough. Yay! Miguel says we are all sinners. Yeah, I gotta. In the combined chat, none of the emojis come up. I gotta keep watching. Gotta keep switching between YouTube chat and combined chat. Excellent. So stay tuned, and hopefully we may have to last minute if Terry has to drop out, because we need minimum 3 players. It's like 3 to 5 players the scenario is set for. So if Terry's in bad shape and has to drop out, we'll probably do some Ironsworn. But keep an eye out for hopefully some alien. The green, it'll be all green. We'll make sure we. A lot of the art though is not green. It's just this like graphic design. All the ship schematics and stuff are going to be very green. But I found some good music. Hopefully that won't be triggering the copyright ID. And I think I just need a siren. I just need a klaxon, kind of like mother alarm, because mother's going to be yelling at you guys about occasional things. So we'll see. All right. Well, cool. It says my collection of campaign board games, TTRPG box sets have reached the point where I have to store a good chunk of it in the attic. Yes, because I actually favor myself. For the second floor bedroom weight. Nice. Yeah, I got to distribute the weight. That's great. Yeah, so we'll see. Yeah, to get some nice heavy steel shelves, especially with things like Frosthaven and Gloomhaven. Those things weigh a ton. You can't put those on some cheap particle board, press board shelves. They're just going to, everything's going to just sag in. So, got to get those industrial shelves in there. Nice. Yeah, I'll have to check out Urban War. Those are some fun-looking miniatures. All right. Well, cool. So let's wrap it up for this week, and we'll be online with something Friday night, West Coast time. So about 8 p.m. Pacific time in the U.S. And so just past noon here on this side of the world, like about 1. Yeah, right. Abyss, those boxes weigh 16 kilos each. So what is it, like 25 pounds or something? It's like 50 pounds of cardboard to play, just play in the world. Alarm, whatever we need alarm for. Yes, Matt. Yes, it's just to wake up. It's just, when you guys, you can set an alarm and it'll wake you up so get a little something in before breakfast. It's nothing to worry about. Yeah, and we'll see if we have any artificial people among us too. All right. Yeah, because there's a nice there's 5 pre-gen characters for Alien, so it's a nice spread. And I'm curious to see who people pick based on how they want to get in Matt's way, basically. Oh, 44, really? 44 pounds? Yikes. That's a lot. All right. Okay, so we will see you again soon with some actual play, and and I'll start working on my nostalgia videos for the members area. I don't think I saw that they just started gifting. Patreon just started gifting memberships, but I don't think YouTube has done comp memberships yet. Just gifted, so I'll take a look. I just said I woke up at 4:40 in the morning for this podcast. Whoa, nice. Nice. Yeah, that's what you have to do to watch in real time. Yeah, 44 pounds. That's crazy. And I paid for the shipping for 44 pounds of cardboard to be delivered to Japan. Brilliant. But it'll be nice. My funeral pyre will be nice and high. I'm just going to be laid out on a big structure composed completely of Ameritrash board games, and so the plastic fumes and everything. It's going to be beautiful. All right, guys. So see everybody again soon, and thanks so much. It's great to have everybody in the chat. Thanks for the again for the gifted memberships, and Clarion, thank you for the super chat. And we will be back again next week with the weekly, and tomorrow